After the last episode of Daredevil Born Again, I started thinking that this show might have too many villains. You have 5 villains. Sure, Bullseye was only in the first episode, but I do have a feeling that he will be coming back. But I am just going to be going through why I feel like there isn't enough room for all of these villains. So just starting off with what I would argue is the main villain, Vanessa, who it seems to be orchestrating the events going on behind the scenes. And I don't know what her plan is, which at this point in the season I feel like I should know what her goals are. If I had to guess it's either bringing Wilson back into their life or killing him. Who knows? Now, Kingpin / Wilson Fisk, who at the beginning of the series ran for mayor, leaving his old life behind. But as the series went on, he fell back into old habits like blackmailing and killing people. I feel like King wanted to change things as mayor, but ended up hating the community side of things, where he had to go to like events and listen to children sing. Now, Muse, his motivations is unknown. I mean, he used his art to be going against Kingpin, but it is unclear on what his motivations were to do that. Because is he like pro-vigilante? Is he just not liking Kingpin? Does he just want to express his art in a political way? Or is he just... But I feel like I need more of his motivations, but this character only really has 3 episodes to shine, along with his artwork showing up in random places. But I guess now we'll never get an answer to what his motivations were, because he died in the last episode of Daredevil Born Again. And now the 4th main villain of the series is the Punisher Task Force Gang. Now we haven't got much of these guys yet, but like Muse, we got teasers for them to become a bigger problem, but out of all the villains, I feel like these guys should have been the main villain for the season. Talking about vigilante, should they exist? Should they be able to take the law into their own hands? So after all that, I feel like I don't know what is going to be the end of the season, because we only have 2 episodes left, and I have no idea what some of these characters' motivations are at this point. So after going through all the villains in the series besides Bullseye, I'm going to be going through how I might change their goals and motivations through the series, and how I might push some of them aside to make room for who I think should have been the main villains. So starting off with Vanessa, she would rarely pop in through the series. She would only really be around if Kingpin was at home and stuff. And by the last 2 episodes, we would reveal that most of the underworld organizations that we saw Kingpin would be taking part in after a couple of episodes, we would see that Vanessa was orchestrating and has been pulling strings, and every time that we hear someone say either the big man or Kingpin, Vanessa has either been telling them to say that to someday hope that Wilson comes back into this organization and takes over and they can do it together, or she wants to keep people in fear that Kingpin is still around doing his thing. And we would reveal that she sent Bullseye to kill Foggy and Karen to get back at Matt because she knows he was Daredevil. Kingpin would just be basically being a mayo game pushed slightly and slightly more into madness as the season went on, because he started realizing that this isn't the change that he wanted to make in going to meetings, going to parties, going to events. He wants to just change New York City, and I do like the idea that he was the one to decide to put together the task force. But since we do see him going more into madness, we start believing whenever we hear Vanessa basically telling people to say the Kingpin, say the big man wants this kind of thing. Now the Punisher task force will be the main antagonist by the end of the season. Now they will be the main antagonist by the end of the season, and now Kingpin would be forming this task force, but will oppose as more of a threat to Daredevil, Punisher, and like we might get cameos by like Kate Bishop or some other people like that, or even maybe one of their defenders. So I just feel like they would be a much more better villain to kind of put into a season about vigilantes more and more, about to put them into a season about vigilantes. Now Muse will be the main antagonist for the first 5 episodes. Episode 1 would stay the same in my eyes. Episode 2 would be seeing Kingpin go into mayor and seeing the Hector Ayala trial. But as time goes on, we will see episode 2 might have a couple of things to do with Muse, but Muse will be the reason why Matt dons the suit again to become Daredevil. And I do think that if I was recreating the season, I would put the episode 5 storyline into episode 6, where they had the bank heist, because I just found that episode really fun, and I would hope, and I think it would be a fun break just to split up the 2 storylines going on. So that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. And if you guys want to comment down below why this show has this many antagonists, have a different opinion, or if you agree, comment down below. Anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.